This is my second video of the day. My first video being of my Filter Queen with the new Wesselwerk power nozzle on it. I actually received that yesterday, and it was supposed to come today, so I was actually very surprised to see that it had come. But of course, now that that had happened, another item of mine besides this is not going to be here today. It keeps saying that it's going to be, but it's still in transit to its final destination, and it's not out for delivery. So anyway, this is a VacuMaid garage vac. This is the GV30, I believe, Garage Vac 30, which stands for 30-foot hose. This has the plastic hose on it. It's not the metal one. And the reason that I didn't get the metal one was because it was significantly more expensive, and I had had my eye on one of these for quite some time now. The reason why I finally pounced on it was because this one was in like-new condition, but listed on an Amazon's warehouse deals open box sort of thing. So I'm pleasantly surprised that it still it has plastic wrap on it. I don't know as if it's the original, but it's adhesive plastic wrap. There's no dings, nicks, or anything like that on it. The attachment bracket and everything is in excellent condition. There's no dings or dents from where somebody tried to drill it into a wall. All the hardware looks new. I just attached the hose handle to the hose. It screws on. The wand on this is made of metal. This wand right here, as you can hear. And it is telescopic. It goes very nicely with the vacuum. This piece here is I believe it can be an extension, like an adapter, to extend your hose and kind of double its size, because what you can do is you can screw the hose in to this end here, then find the other end of the hose, which is right here. Oh, maybe it's not going to work. I was on a roll. I thought you could, but there are threads here. So it's essentially just an additional hose piece. Now this will fit over top like that, so you could make an extension like that, but I don't know as to how effective that would be because there's that elbow right there. But this is essentially just a mock or a dummy valve that's supposed to go here in the front of the VacuMaid, and this is for using the blower attachment, just like that. And that's not in all the way, but that's what it does. Your suction valve is up there, the blower valve is down here, and your 30-foot hose, again, it's plastic, but it's very well made. Here's your mesh carry bag in here, as well as your basic tools. So you get a decent sized crevice tool, and these are new tools too. It has a nice little slot there just on the one side, not on the other. I'm not too familiar with central vacuums, but I know that some machines have dual slots, but I don't know if these tools are identical to the household VacuMaid models. The dusting brush is real horsehair, I believe, or faux horsehair, but it's not like just the black, what do you want to call it, like plastic bristles, so it's actually pretty well made. Then you also have your upholstery tool here, which I'm glad that this doesn't have bristles on it to be a 2-in-1 upholstery dusting brush sort of thing. So it's got little suction grooves down there at the bottom, and in pretty good shape. Here's your plastic carry bag or your mesh carry bag. I haven't opened this yet. I'm hoping that it's a decent size like they advertise. And then that I opened just to take a peek. Then there's the floor brush, which is very hefty on the vacuum. This does feel like real horsehair. But a very hefty, almost as if it's made out of metal, but it's not, floor brush, and it just has these front suction slots. The rear does not. The 30-foot hose, it sounds long, but when you think about it, your vacuum's cord is about 30 feet long. So if you have a 30-foot vacuum cleaner hose, then you already know how long, or cord, you already know how long this hose is going to be. It plugs right there in the front. When you're done using it, you're supposed to take the vacuum hose off. I'll put this back in there. The attachments can go back in this plastic bag. And then the mesh bag. And then we'll take a quick look at the owner's manual on this thing. So here it is. Owner's manual, read before operating your system. VacuMaid Garage Vac. I figured a lot of folks would find this to be quite interesting because there are no videos of this. Of course, yet again, a vacuum that I buy, no videos online of it at all. Just like some manufacturer videos. So that's what they call the cuff. This is for the blowing feature. It's like a dummy valve. This metal plate was not set down in the bottom of the vacuum when I got it because all this was inside the vacuum. Your bag is not installed. You have to install it yourself. They are 7-gallon bags. Cannot be plumbed for use as a central vac, which I find to be a bunch of bull. Of course, it's not set up to because your valve for the suction is there in the front. The utility valve is what they call it. Use for vacuuming must be held open with additional cuff when wanting to use as a blow feature. And then the exhaust for blowing, on-off switch, latches, your lid, which is pretty heavy, and it's got a big rubber gasket on it. Hepa Bag is located inside the unit below the lid. But it says cannot be plumbed for use as a central vac. I don't know if you can set up an electrical supply for this to do like the quick connect and quick disconnect, but to me, a central vacuum already as it is tends to be a bit of a problem unless you have a big house because you have to store the hose, and you can buy one with a pigtail that plugs into an outlet right next to where you plug the hose into the wall. So you don't even need to have the low voltage wiring coming from this unit. What makes this not easy but not impossible to rig up to be a central vacuum, because it does have the power to be a central vacuum. It has over 500 air watts of suction. It has a 5.1 or a 5.3 tangential fan in it. It has like 130 inches of water lift, I believe, or maybe it's 130 CFM, 95 inches of water lift or something like that. So pretty impressive for just a garage vacuum, but I think it's powerful enough to support a small house if you did a central vac. But the problem is most central vacs have side-mounted suction inlets, so the whole front of the unit is free from being played with. And of course, if you were to plumb this to be a central vacuum, the lid would be blocked in the front where you would probably remove the lid because of the piping. So again, not impossible, but you probably have to make a lot of bends in the piping that are kind of unnecessary right at the immediate machine. It shows you drywall installation, or actually it says sheetrock. And then it says choose a mounting location, minimum of 12 inches between lid and ceiling or shelving, and 6 inches from side walls. And it must be mounted within 5 feet of an electrical outlet. There's that metal plate I was telling you about. It sits in the bottom to keep the bag from being right on the motor inlet, because what'll happen is the bag will go over top of it, and as it fills with dirt, it'll reduce the suction and cause a lot of strain on the vacuum. Hepa Bag is inside this. So I'm really happy that this is a Hepa Bag, which will revolutionize anyone who has the traditional Craftsman shop vac or the rigid shop vac, or just a shop vac, brand shop vac, or a Stanley, because this uses a Hepa Bag that's humongous, that is the same size, if not bigger, than most central vacuums use. You've got your curved wand. If you have the metal wand and the plastic one, you have to attach the curved, sorry, yeah, I'm right. The curved wand, whether it be plastic or metal, to the hose. You have to twist it to the left as you thread it onto the hose. This is the opposite direction of typical threading, which is what I was doing. I was screwing it up. And when you thread it on, the thread portion will not twist. Above that, there's an independent 360 swivel, so you can't get this tangled. Blowing, it shows you how to operate the blower. Excuse me. You've got your upholstery tool. You've got the crevice tool. And you've got your dusting brush and a hose hanger. Loop the hose over the hanger approximately 45 times, or loop hose on floor and then pick up and hang on hanger. Woo! Sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold. Then it shows you how to empty your dirt can. Remove lid, unhooking clamps, releasing the latch on the top of the canister. Lift lid straight up. Remove the bag by sliding the rubber gasket that surrounds the hole in the paper bag of the plastic inlet system that protrudes through the front of the canister. Once the bag is off the inlet stem, seal the bag by removing the backing from the tab and cover the hole with the flap. Press the flap so that it securely seals over the hole. This will prevent dirt and dust from escaping. Now lift the paper bag from the dirt canister, which ours is cloth. And it shows you how to install a new bag. If the bag breaks, it just says to clean off the small screen, which to me I think is minimally what you need to do. You need to take this thing off the wall. It just slides down on the wall, and temp it upside down and shake everything out and take an air compressor and blow as much as you can out of it. And then it also says, how often should I check or empty the Hepa bag? This says when you have 3 to 6 inches of dirt, which to me is minimal because the bag is bigger than what the inside of the canister is. But it says you shouldn't fill more than 3/4 full before emptying. I see this bag lasting years before it needs to be replaced, before it starts to stink though. But the way I see it is, this is such a better value because, for one, Craftsman has been making the same filters for their shop vacs for years, and they are pretty durable. But first of all, they're really noisy. The cords are very short, only about twice as long as the cord on this, so about 10 feet long. This is much quieter, much more performance, much more airflow, and it's easier because we have this big 16-gallon shop vac, and it has a giant hose on it that's really a dexterity problem when you try and use it. This is a normal vacuum size, and I plan to upgrade to the 50-foot hose on this. It says usually low suction is caused by full bag. If the dirt canister lid is off or loose, is there a blockage in the hose or tools, or is the protector plate in place? Lift the lid. The metal plate should be located just beneath the Hepa bag inside and lay flat with the smooth side up, because it's like a tray that sits above and keeps that inlet to circulate air. Very cheap, easy thing. And it's a 5-year warranty that covers everything except for tools in the hose are only covered by a 2-year warranty. But it's by Lindsay Manufacturing. Yeah, Lindsay Manufacturing Inc. Garage Vac by VacuMaid. And it's in Ponca City, Oklahoma. So it is made in the United States. It says it right on the side. I plan to do a video of it soon, and I guess I'll give you a little peek on the inside of it. So it's got these big, huge, heavy-duty, and it really holds this lid down, clip things. Nice, big rubber gasket there. Huge bag, I mean, giant bag. And I installed it all nice and neat, and the motor is mounted in the bottom of this unit. So I believe that's what they mean by tangential, is it's actually mounted horizontally, so it spins almost like a sanitaire or like a pizza, rather than being side mounted like a lot of vacuum cleaners are. So hopefully this thing's going to be super efficient. I already know it's going to do an excellent job, and I am super excited to use this. And I hope to mount it by our Bilco door, and I'll be showing that once this is all mounted, so I can do the 50-foot hose, back our car into the back lawn, and be able to dry it off with the hose. But I have a feeling I'll need to buy a separate hose for that, otherwise I'll be blowing dirt on my car. So because the hose will still have residual dirt in it. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this entertaining. I know a lot of you guys like central vacuums, and you're really into them. They're not as common to see, and I'm sure a lot of folks have seen this. You could easily make this a central vacuum, even if you didn't do it like central throughout your house, but you could put a you could install an electric power nozzle to this with one of those outside plugs to plug into the wall that is the pigtail, rather than wiring all this, and turn this into a power nozzle unit. Just if you have like a carpeted area and you own a shop or something and you have carpeting that needs to be vacuumed. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please ask, and I am so excited to show you guys this up and running and installed.